it's super expensive in comparison to the rest. It's not feature complete on day one by any sense of the word. So yeah, that for me, that's a tough sell at the moment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, how do I handle this one? Because I've got the whole "this is an Xbox" thing is starting to rub me up the wrong way. It's an Xbox if you can access your Xbox library and play Xbox games on it without limitations. There are limitations. So that, that thing, I can understand it's almost like a break with the past. This is an Xbox. Then maybe in brackets underneath it should be going forward. Because there's, it's not an Xbox really. I can't play my 360 games on there. I can't play my OG games. Limited access to my series library, etc., etc., etc. That's kind of a bit of a challenge for me. And you're quite right, Alex. The kind of plug and play nature of a console isn't quite there yet. There are strides being made, however.
You can get an LCD Steam Deck model for $320 American on the Valve store. It's on sale currently. I'd venture those are models that look pretty favorable up against the cheaper ROG Ally. Certainly much, much cheaper than the Ally X. And then, of course, in dedicated gaming handheld land, you have the Switch 1, Switch 2, much cheaper devices. Switch 2, probably in a lot of respects, pretty comparable handheld experience, if not a better handheld experience, I'd venture, than that cheaper model in terms of game performance. I would think, based on at least on my own testing.
All right, everybody, welcome back to another Xvault gaming video. Xvault here, and today we're going to go over your next dose of the salty batch files. That's right, we got a lot of coping going on, a lot of victim mentality going on, and a lot of mixed messaging, hyperboles, and all that sort of stuff going on. So let's have some fun, and let's go ahead and jump to it. All right, so like I said, what we're going to do is get right to the meat of the matter here again, of course, and we're going to start off with everybody's favorite bot, Kid Smooth, back at it again here. This one I've had in my pocket for a minute because I thought this was really estranged and everything like that sort. But as you can see here, I just need someone with close ties to Xbox, P3, Phil Spencer, Sarah Bond, Aaron Greenberg, and Ronald, right? To ask them what is up with Xbox Series consoles and major retailers such as Costco, Sam's Club, and now Target and Walmart, rumored. At the time, rumored. If I was trying to sell a product, I would have retail reps ensuring that the retail space I'm paying for is nice, neat, well-stocked, and advertising my latest games. So again, I think this is great because we're getting close to, at least in the States, what's known as Black Friday, which is where all those sales and everything happen for electronics and appliances and everything under the sun, right? So it's great to bring this up back from October, because of the fact that he thinks he has this just tight-knit, close relationship with them, as if they're going to directly respond and be like, you know what, kid, we understand, you're right. No, they've abandoned this generation. They've abandoned this generation to the full degree. It's over, it's done. And just recently, at the time of this recording, Sarah Bond came out and said, you know what, we're doing another generation. Hardware is definitely something we want to consider, but we also want them to be able to take their stuff wherever they go, their library, all that stuff. They're done with your traditional console. They're done with your home traditional console. They want you to be PC. They want you to do all this stuff. The writing has been on the wall, but again, I just think it's fun. Kid Smooth thinking he has, granted, he has a lot of followers, so who knows? But maybe he can make some waves here, he thought at the time, but it's done. That ship has sailed. The Series S and X generation is abysmal. It was abysmal, always was going to be abysmal, even before, especially before the acquisitions, but I digress. Let's keep going here. A stall here, right? You gotta love the topsy-turvy stuff. This is what I'm saying about being a hypocrite, the hyperboles here and stuff like that. Astall, hello Digital Foundry, tags him of course because we need to listen to Astall here. If you don't like Xbox, just be honest and stop covering it. Call yourself Digital Sony. So again, it just depends on the narrative. It depends on the video per video on whether or not these Xbox fanboys, shills, frauds, and grifters actually enjoy Digital Foundry. If it's in the narrative where they're praising something, a game or hardware, in regards to PlayStation or Xbox in their terms, then they're okay. They're the best thing ever, etc., etc. That's what they do. That's what they roll with. But no, at this point in time, you gotta love it. They flip the switch so much. If you don't align with their narrative straight on, right away, or continue to bolster this false delusion, then you're the enemy in their sights and they will turn on you at the drop of a hat, and that's how they work. But as we continue, right? Now I want to talk about a little bit of this mixed messaging, right? What's the marching orders for the fraud, shills, and grifters, right? As you can see here, Xbox UK, and it wasn't just that outlet that stated this, right? If you're reading this on an Xbox. This is an Xbox. So if you're reading it on your phone, your fridge, your toaster that might have a digital screen to it, it might possibly be an Xbox, according to these guys, if it can stream Skyrim or something of that sort. Now, what do we do again with those marching orders? As you can see here, Cult Eats Wood. The Cult of Eats Wood is back, of course, and he states from his time, because they're still, I haven't heard too much about the ROG Ally X, by the way, right now, but as you can see, this is an Xbox first-party game. Any questions, right? And then, of course, Death Witch YT streamer in training, the only one that matters. How much? Colt responds, $9.99, right? And then he goes, that's not an Xbox, it's a crime, LOL, hard pass, which I would have to agree. If you're going to spend $1,000, I would shell out a few more iotas of money there and go ahead and purchase yourself a desktop or even a gaming PC that you can futuristically upgrade. And when I say futuristically upgrade, I mean where you can swap out your RAM, swap out GPU, swap out some sort of solid state drives, all that sort of stuff. Everything you can possibly swap and change to get more longevity out of your PC hardware is what I would do before I would sit there and take $9.99 and put that on the go. You can get a lot of gaming laptops, granted, it takes up a little bit more room, but it compacts, it folds, right? You can take it with you and travel, hook up a Bluetooth controller, Bluetooth keyboard and mouse, wired keyboard and mouse, whatever you prefer, and do the same thing, and probably, again, shell out a little bit more money for more longevity. I also think it's a hard crime, but again, circling back around, look at that. The marching orders was this is an Xbox, so they are still diving with it. That ROG Ally X is an Xbox. That's an Xbox game. The whole thing's an Xbox. That's what you need to embrace. That's what you need to do going forward, but at least not everybody's buying the bullcrap that comes out of the fraud's mouth. So I like to see that from time to time, and hopefully you guys too, because at least it gives me some hope in humanity. Not a lot, but some hope, because there's a lot of sheep that do follow these idiots around. But as we continue here, right? Astal's back, wanted to give him a little break, a little bit of a palate cleanse here, of course. But he's on here stating, they're just not stockpiling Xbox consoles in warehouses like Sony, then pretend these consoles are sold while they're still sitting in warehouses. They sold on demand. It's the best way to not wasting money on stocking. Again, do you see the delusion that they run with here? Now the narrative for them at the time, and again, I think these fit the narrative really well right now because we're heading into that holiday season even deeper. But that being said, the crazy part is they think that Sony's trying to count this as stockpiling and that's what they're doing, but it's smarter that they don't understand. Again, guys, October 14th this post was. They still didn't understand the writing on the wall that the Series X and S generation, this generation, they're done. They have their systems out there. They have their consoles out there in some retail places. Yes, you can order them online, but it's very difficult to do. You have to go out of your way for the most part. Sometimes stuff's there, whatever the case is. This is not their priority. This is not their prerogative. This is not the direction that they are going. The writing has been on the wall, but in their mind, the delusion, the cogs turn, the clocks turn, the gears turn. All this stuff to make sense that what they're doing is the right thing to do. Whatever the marching orders are, that's what they want to do. So again, if it was the other shoe on the other foot, right? They were putting stuff in warehouses, they were putting it out. They wouldn't say hide nor hair of that. They would be poking fun at Sony. They'd be doing everything under the sun to combat that narrative, you name it. But here they are, defenders and soldiers to the end, right? Gotta love it. Now, as we continue on, I mean, the marching orders are the same, right? Jez even chimes in because that's what he's doing when he's putting his can of pork and beans down and he's relaxing, sitting back. This is what he goes with. This is an Xbox with PlayStation games. Like, this is an anomaly, right? Like, you couldn't do this already with any other Steam Deck. You couldn't do this with any other ROG Ally. You couldn't do this with any other PC handheld. You couldn't do this with any other laptop and desktop. Yes, we've been over this. If you've been following the channel, we've been over this. But again, do you see the good soldiers that they are trying to help advertise? Like, guys, this is what you should get. This is what you should spend your hard-earned $9.99 on. Not anything else that's going to give you, like I mentioned before, longevity, if that's the route you want to go. If you want to dive into PC gaming, by all means, continue to do so. Do something for longevity. I'm telling you, if you're going to do that, there's nothing wrong with that. The new Steam machine coming out, if those specs are fine for you, if you think you're going to get longevity out of that, go that route as well. We're still waiting on the pricing and everything there, but I do think $9.99 is a little far-fetched. I say shell out a little bit more. Get yourself something like a gaming laptop or desktop, hybrid tower, whatever you want to call it at this point in time as well, and get some more bang for your buck, some longevity out of it. That's the narrative you're going with. That's why these are so fake. Everything about this is fake. And again, Jez, Colt, Astal, everybody else, the normal circle, here's your orders, here's what you should say, here's what you should follow, here's what you should do, here's how you should advertise. Go ahead and run with this narrative. Continue to do so. But it's plain as day. I mean, it's plain as day. I mean, they're not fooling me. Hopefully they're not fooling any of you out there, but just make smart purchases. If you're going to do something like that, do something with longevity. Long story short. Now, I feel like, the best for last here. Again, Jez, right? Hot take, not hot take, because he's an idiot, but I know it's popular to be mad at them, Xbox, right? Contextually speaking, but one day it'll merge in detail how Phil and Sarah are the only ones stopping Microsoft CFO Amy Hood from fully stripping it for parts. Man, give this guy a Purple Heart, man, because he's in it. He's in it. As we continue, Actman even chimes in on this one, right? You effed up if Actman's probably chiming into your thread here, but it's not popular to be mad at them. It is right to be mad at them. If they're stemming the tide, then they ain't worthy of even being plumbers. Crap is spurting out everywhere, bro. You can't be serious right now. Love him or hate him, he's being absolutely correct here, and that's just the case. I mean, that's what I'm saying, like joking around, like he needs a Purple Heart, he needs a Medal of Honor, whatever the case is for Jez, is he doesn't stop. He doesn't stop the defense. It doesn't matter. It's the classic meme of the dog with the fire around the bar stools and all that stuff, and it's like everything's fine. It's not. Stop. It's not fine. It's not fine. It's a joke. They screwed you guys over as an Xbox fan base. Again, you guys should have listened, should have maybe not dove in on Game Pass, etc., etc. But in the end, you as a consumer, they needed to kind of take care of the consumer base at the same time. They have more of an obligation not to lead you guys down that led astray, all that sort of thing, into Game Pass, into renting, and that's the best thing, and the best value here. And you have the talking head shills, frauds, and grifters giving you the same rhetoric, right? It's bad. And then we have Xbox 360. This, aside from the odd troll, most people are mad at Microsoft because they want Xbox to return to its former glory. It's called holding them accountable. Jez continues. Yes, but in pragmatic terms, shut up. Phil goes bye-bye and becomes Satya's scapegoat. You know what? There doesn't need to be a scapegoat. Satya said what he needed to do. Amy Hood did what they need to do. This isn't a secret. There's no scapegoat. There's no scapegoat, right? There's nothing like that. Board and Satya appoint a yes man. The death spiral accelerates completely unmitigated as anything pro-consumer like Xbox Play Anywhere, back compatibility, supporting existing Xbox owners gets fully ditched. It's pretty obvious, really. But yeah, it's pretty obvious, really? Are we really going that? He doesn't back down. You have Actman and other people telling him, knock it off. Knock it off. And he's still fighting the good fight. This delusional world that he's built up, that Phil and Sarah and everybody in between was trying to do what's best for business, doing what's best for the brand, doing what's best for the consumers out there. That is not the case. They don't care. They made their money. We found out. Jez, at this point in time, buddy, you knew. We just found out. All right? We just found out that Phil has been paying other people to play under his account to get achievements, to make it seem like he's more of a gamer than what he really is. He doesn't stop lying. You're still defending this dude, thinking he's looking out for you as the consumer, looking out for the people out there. He's not. None of these guys are. They're there to do a check. Yes, they have some pride in what they do, for sure. Most of us do. Most of us do. But that only goes so far. End of the day is to make money, collect that check, etc. Simple as that. Pathetic is the lightest term I can state here. Pathetic is everything that comes out of Jez's mouth. Pathetic is this failed blogger's trek to being some sort of a journalism piece of aspect to his own name, which won't ever turn about. And then he turns around, plays victim mentality when he keeps doing the same bull crap. It just never ends. Guys, enough's enough. Enough's enough. Hold these people accountable. They don't stop. They ruin the brand. They help ruin the brand. They help taint gaming as a whole, right? King Thrash has been on a roll recently about how he's tired of these fakes and frauds and all that stuff as well. He's just tired of it. Every day is a new narrative. Every day is a new lie. And enough's enough. Let's hold these guys accountable. Let's get some traction here. Let's do what needs to be done and just hold people accountable and be like, enough. Stop listening to them. Make up your own mind. Do your own research. Do what makes you happy, etc. But stop following these liars and frauds, right? Just stop doing that. With that being said, it's crazy, super salty, super weirdos, super delusional narratives, you name it. But we will wrap up the video here, folks. I do appreciate it. If you haven't already, definitely leave a like and comment down below. Both those things will help out the algorithm below. Would love to hear from you as well. If you haven't, definitely consider subscribing, helping out a small content creator like myself. Really appreciate that. On our way to that 4,000 sub goal, so thank you so much. And of course, we'll give the rest of the day back to you, of course. And at the end of the day, just remember, don't be a salty batch. And we'll see y'all next time on the next Xvault gaming video. And until then, take care.